cry, sis. Start. Nothing matters before your awakening. No one else would ever have thought you'd end up being the last one alive in those No time to read. Your purpose has finally started. Your surroundings are indeed beautiful, don't you think, sis? I actually didn't expect this game to start immediately. Hello, my chums, old and new. Welcome to a video. Today we're playing 4004Ripper. I have no idea what this game is about. I thought it looked cool. I didn't read anything about it. That's what I like to do. I like to go in completely blind. And that's what I do. A landscape filled with people who once had dreams and family, now reduced to meat with no life. I don't think I understand your blabbering. But I'm understanding myself. Nothing else matters if you understand yourself better than anyone else. My arm is talking. I am talking, sis. I live within you, and the reason behind it is aroused by egoism. Sis, may I ask you something? I already know what you're thinking. If you know, then why don't you illustrate my thoughts? I already know, but that doesn't mean I don't want to hear it again. Your only purpose is to leave this laboratory. It's the easiest task I could have ever ordered you. You can reach it with your own bare hands, sis. You know better than anyone that I hate being called sis. You've always hated that name, and I'm aware of it. But it's better being called sis than a bunch of numbers. I'll fulfill my duty. Loading screen. This game seems dark and gloomy so far. I don't think it's gonna be cheerful at all. I did read on the itch.io page that it was based off someone's real experiences. Always fun, always fun. Sis. What? Centuries of human-made hard work, only to be replaced by a machine without consciousness. I'm often scared of what the future hides. We've been born in the most boring dystopia. Remember those pieces of media featuring how life would be in the future? That is not what it says, but I'm going with that because I don't care to reread it. So she looks so pretty like this. I love her eyes closed. No. I don't mean the magazines from the good old days talking about how life would be in 10 to 20 years. I'm talking about the video games predicting life in 40 to 50 years. I don't know what you're talking about. They never mentioned that creativity would eventually die because of you, sis. Goodness, this thing is ruthless. Please save unnecessary comments. I was just born and you're wasting watts of willpower. Damn. Alright. Yeah, sorry. I almost forgot you're the one who's getting me out of here. More loading. Sis. What? How do you feel looking at this century made of microchips and plastic? If you expect an answer coming from me about how sad I feel about it, you're in the wrong place. These machines are worthless now. Like humans, they vanished, never to return. I don't care about where they go. They're just as abandoned as a human could be. You did that talk even more than I'm used to. I'll take it as I'm not offended, but blah blah blah. At this rate, my tolerance meter is going to explode. I'll end up chopping off my own arm just to shut your mouth. Don't do that. You get lost here without me. We're attached to each other. I'm attached to you like needles piercing your skin. You're a part of me, and at the same time, I'm a part of you. I like how colorful the text is. It looks really pretty. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about you at all. I just want to see the outside world, and you're my truck between here and my goal. You're only... Did you get offended? You're blabbering a lot now. Sis. What? I feel like you're a little distracted. Didn't you just tell me that you can read my mind and stuff like that? Now go ahead. Tell me. Why am I distracted? Wasn't it you who said that stupid BS? Of course I can't read your mind. I just wanted to act deep in any case. Look. This is a place where I've spent most of my life inside these four walls without any contact with the outside world. I forgot about my family and friends, and I denied myself any opportunity to enjoy this world. Now look where it has led us. It's only the ruined dreams of a crybaby like me. Sis, in times like these, I realize I wish I'd spent more time with my family. Did you get I actually don't know how to say that word. Did you get
melancholic?
I'm trying. Did you get melancholic because this whole place where you gave all the time of your life is now reduced to dust and dead machines? Sis, these stairs are special. Why? It's funny, I can feel connections in most unlikely places, like these stairs. But like I'm telling you, this is the place where that girl I liked and I used to drink our morning coffee. I don't even know why we picked this place, despite one of our laboratory's peculiarities being that we have spaces where people can relax, surrounded by countless stimuli. I think I know the reason now. Maybe I liked her. She liked me. That's the only reason she ever came to this place. Just to drink coffee with me. If you like to think that could be the reason, then go ahead. I'm joking, sis. Jeez. The reason behind it is that we probably found beauty in the simplest things. In this case, some stairs that lead to absolutely nothing. Why did they build stairs that lead to nothing? Sis. You ask too many questions. You remind me of a daughter I wish I never had. And don't worry, I have no daughter, nor was I planning on having one. It's not like you can anymore. But yeah, the reason was that we found out these stairs lead to nothing. Were the perfect metaphor for how life often ends up being different from the concepts we had already learned about the things around us. At least that's what I want to think about her and me. It's a funny thing to think about, don't you think, sis? I really don't care. It really is that simple, trust me. You know what the funniest part of these stairs was? No one ever decided to walk up here because there was absolutely nothing. And yet you did. What did they use this lab for? I still don't get it. Yeah, you're right. You don't know about it, but guess what? I'm not telling you for now. Why not? If I do, you'd probably leave me alone. I actually don't want that, you know? I may be a bad woman, but that doesn't mean I'd like to leave you. I'd like you to leave me alone here. At least leave me alone in a good place, alright? Are you a woman? Aren't you listening to my voice? I'm not. You're just popping into my thoughts and I'm answering. Yo, doomed dead Yuri. Let's go. Co-worker and voice in the head. I love Yuri. Wait, but how are you answering? Through your thoughts or using your voice? I can't hear you either. Let's leave it like that. I don't want to end up with incurable brain damage. automatic breathing disabled. Every single second that passes from now on, my hatred towards you will increase. It's ironic, don't you think? What now? I'm here, living in your arm because of my own selfishness, and it's something I can't forgive myself for. You already told me that. But I have to think about my body having its own identity, being a whole presence rather than just a shell, and I have to say sorry when I'm doing something harmful to it. And then it's something weird. Even some empathy appears when I think about how badly I've been treating my own body. It's strange, you know? I guess. But you don't have a body now. And I feel sorry about it. Your blabbering has been really interesting. It's like I'm spilling every topic I've been saving for myself for years. The life I had didn't allow me to talk to many people. This lab, this place was my life. Creating robots and machines that work for us was my duty. And I liked it. And yet, I can't deny that I wish I'd spent more time with the people who are no longer around. You know what motivated me to keep going? Tell me. Imagine this. You've been created by our God's grace. And in the Bible, it's written that we are not different from Him. We are His creation, made in His own image. Not unexpected to go religious. Oh. Our hunger for creation as humans is insatiable. We're living flesh, constantly seeking the creation of new things. God, my chair's loud. Allowing ourselves the pleasure of creating alliance with our very own nature. The people who are not lucky enough to share the world inside their minds live in a constant unconscious pain that will never fade. Let me ask you one question, sis. Go ahead. Why are so many people depressed in our world? People living their daily lives in black and white colors, and parallax of pure agony shaping the things around them. Why are we all depressed? Did we lose the reads behind our own nature? Well, yeah, kinda. Look around you, sis. The reason behind our misery is that as humans, our destiny is to feel miserable. Every person who says the meaning of life is enjoying it is a liar and a bastard. I don't think I'm following. Think about it, sis. Most of those people deep inside their hearts, like feeling miserable. They romanticize feelings like a bag of garbage. I don't think I'm following. Sis, they love not understanding anything, yet they think it's complex. Bad emotions are complex. Happy people often find them on the same track of emotion. People in love, people who are angry, depressed, and sad, have more in common than you think. Are you telling me being in love is a bad emotion? What do they have in common, sis? I'm bad at that, you know it. The answer is we're not lucky enough. Lucky enough? Sis, are you on the side of the lucky people or the unlucky people? Related to my bad emotions? Yes. I feel like I'm unlucky. I'll be honest, I'm in the same position as you. I've been locked in this lab because deep inside my brain asked me to stay. I wanted to stay, despite paying no attention to my family, because as a person filled with bad emotions, the only option I had left within me was to create until my hands became living red accumulation of flesh and pain. At that very moment I realized I was happy because of it. Even as the world around me was turning to ashes, I was happy. In that moment I discovered that happiness leads only to one destination, but to reach it you often take many paths. Aren't you contradicting yourself? No, because as humans we're driven to create. If we don't create, we end up in a black hole where our own nature sucks the life out of our shell. I took the most complex path to my own happiness. Creating my own life became my creation. And look where I am now, living in your arm for the rest of my life, even if I can't move or do anything else besides talk inside your head. I'm glad I'm still alive. Loading. There's a lot more of this game than I thought. This game is a lot better. It's more storytelling. I find that endearing. We are all machines. This is the perfect example of that. Veins on the floor pumping blood to a mechanical heart somewhere else. How do I look inside? You don't want to know. But speaking of insides, you've never seen what the world outside this place looks like, right? No. It's beautiful. It often makes me wonder how we catalog beautiful things in ancient times, who decided that some things are pretty and others are horrible. Often, those thoughts run through my mind. I know beauty standards are the product of the hardest things to achieve in the human body. Maybe beauty lies in the things hardest to keep or achieve. No wonder I think you're my most beautiful creation. Sometimes you treat me badly, and sometimes you say things like this. You're unpredictable. I'll be clear. I've fed you too much data about cities, buildings, and everything related to them. But the first thing you'll see outside the lab will be different from what you're used to. Then buildings made of wood surrounded by leaves, forming a beautiful, well-constructed utopia for living things that are not human. Sis, when I tell you this, I'm going to be completely honest. I want you to take me out of here. The reason behind it is that I want to see it, even through your eyes. I know I'll be glad I was unlucky enough to give you my own consciousness to witness this beautiful moment. That sounds strange, buildings made entirely of wood. I know what you're thinking, and yes, those buildings are indeed alive too. They grow like living things, they feel, they dance, they cry, and they're happy too. It's weird. You've been talking about how miserable we are, and now you're talking about happiness. It doesn't make any sense. This is the look at the bright side kind of thing. I can't deny that feeling itself is complicated enough to make me realize we're the most complex machines ever created. That's what makes us human. I see. Was I supposed to say sorry? I don't know. It always starts off with sis and slowly fades in. I like that. I like a lot of things, okay? I'm not as much of a hater as I thought I was when it comes to games. No, people suck. Sis. Have you ever tried a cigarette? No, I was just born a few hours ago. I liked cigarettes. They're a perfect example of how we're just a mosaic of people we admire throughout our lives. A cigarette is the perfect symbol of death. Damages you in ways you wouldn't expect for something that's supposed to just go into your lungs. Look, I don't mean it literally. A cigarette is the perfect example of what I just told you for one simple reason. We're the product of the people we find cool. Have you ever mimicked smoking something? Smoking a cigarette or something that has a similar shape? I'm telling you, I was just born. I've never tried things like that. When I was a kid, I used to admire famous figures who often portrayed themselves smoking a good cigarette. They were seen as serious, luxurious, even badass most of the times. All because of a simple cylinder. Oh, and let's not forget the depressed characters with their complicated emotions. I had a crush on many of them when I was your age. How old? 3 hours? Stop it. You know what I mean. I love the idea of getting myself a cigarette and smoking it to the very end while simply contemplating the surroundings as my contract with death fills my lungs. You have lungs. Look, I saved a cigarette in your pocket before everything started. I wanted to have one last thing, but it seems like time wasn't on my side. Sis, make this poor woman's wish a reality. Smoke that cigarette in your pocket. You really have lungs to taste that. Besides, I know the consequences of smoking a cigarette. This wish you're talking about disappeared along with you, revealing that we're all naked in death's eyes. Sis, don't be so pessimistic. Words, not my strong suit. Sis, don't be pessimistic. When I was alive. Try that one more time. Sis, don't be so pessimistic. I was alive, and guess what? I technically beat death because I'm here as long as this thing in your arm works. Works? Alright. So bring yourself that cig and smoke it. You should try every experience possible before you die. I'm afraid that's impossible to achieve. Just smoke that cig, sis. Do it for me. I share your senses, and I'm feeling like having a cigarette. I like this art style. She's so stupid looking. I feel absolutely nothing. You feel absolutely everything. I don't understand. Don't worry. You're just born. You wouldn't understand. I require some explanation from you. Have you ever attached memories to objects? I was just born. We're really emotional creatures. You have no idea how much I enjoy smoking a good cig after a special moment in my life. They're often like safe states where I can literally by smoking another cigarette at the cost of more days of my life. What did you load? I was saving, and I kind of feel guilty because the price of this last cig goes to your contact with death. Death knows that that was my first and last cigarette. Loading. We're almost done. I think this is progress style. Finish the game. I stopped recognizing places a long time ago. It's fun to think that the places I recognize the most are likely far from the surface. It's normal, I guess. I'm pretty sure it is. Want me to tell you more about the surface, sis? Sure. There is this thing full of water we call rivers and oceans. I know the concept of it. I like that. But I'll tell you something you don't know. I like to make people realize they were talking sooner instead of continuing to listen. They love to think they already know instead of just shutting their mouths and listening. The ocean is as vast as the universe, and it's even more dangerous and harder to explore than space itself. I like to think that because it's an excuse for how little we know about our own home. And yet, the irony behind it, water is our mother. You're part of her, as she is part of us. And like every human mother, we know so little about her that we'll die without exploring even not a quarter of her mind. You're like my mother, aren't you? Something like that. You find correlations in everything, like wires connected to a big server. You don't know me as much as I know you. That's why being the creator is a pleasure. I don't think I'm following. My mom died at a late age. She was 92 years old when she passed, and guess what? I'm the youngest of my siblings. Mom was 52 years old when I was born. My siblings probably know far more about her than I do, especially my older brother. And that's the curse I'll carry for the rest of my memories. We're young once. We're so fragile. When she died, I never got the chance to see her one last time. But I used to keep something with me the whole time, even when she was alive. What? Her photos, taken when she was younger than I was before I got here in your arm. She had photos because she wanted her family and friends to remember her as she looked when she died. An old granny used to cry every minute, thinking each meal was her last. And there I was, carrying her teenage photos. The image burned in my head forever. And when I think about my mom, those photos of her as a teenager filled with life are what come to mind. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I feel like I often cry for a person who stopped existing even long before my mom passed away. Every version of us is a person who stole our body and memories while we slept, just to replace us the next day. And the only difference between the victim and the thief is that the thief is one day older than the victim. And we will never see the victim again, the one who vanished into the past. Sis, make sure to leave a gift for the thief to remember you by whenever you go to sleep. This is an empty room, sis. There's nothing interesting here. Let's continue. The more I reach the outside world, the more curious I get about you. Are you curious about me? I mean, thank you, I guess. Deep inside my heart, I know things will be different after we find the surface. The conversation about your mother. I'm getting it. You want to know me more. Who are you? I'll tell you if you're going to answer this simple question. Go ahead. Do you consider me your mother? I don't know about it. I never had one. But even if you don't know about it, what does the word mother mean to you? As simple as it sounds. It's your protector while you're still developing. And help you stand on your own in the future, right? Good job. You already know. I'm the one who created you. So that means you're my mother. Exactly. Hello, Mom. Aww. Bonding? Oh, this is so cute. I'm starting to recognize these places. You know why? Why? Because I only saw these places once. And my expectations about being here were surprisingly higher, making my brain record every minute I spent right inside here. I saw these places once because once I entered, I never went out anymore. Getting deeper inside the lab as the echoes of my own steps became louder and louder. A place where the sounds of the surface was louder and louder. I never knew how to live like a girl, you know. I didn't know. But we're almost done to the exit. You can get rid of me if you want once I see the sky one last time. Alright. The last day I felt like a human were my teenage years. I'll give you some advice as my daughter. Remember that conversation we had about you won't know your mother as much as your mother knows you? I do. I was lying. It doesn't only apply to a mother, but everything else, even yourself. Your maze of different paths form within you, and your duty is to discover them. Every now and then, some paths may not lead to anything, and that's okay. You just need to discover more about yourself and think about where it leads before it's too late. Don't trust people who say it's never too late. When you reach a certain age, you'll stop growing up, you'll stop developing, and the only thing you'll have left is your biological degeneration. You'll be clumsier. Learning things will become harder. You'll prefer sticking to things you learned when you used to be young and smart. That's the worst mistake you ever make. You're going nowhere. You'll be locked inside your own comfort until everyone forgets about you. But Mom, I don't think I can get older. Oh. There are two versions of myself constantly arguing inside of me. Why? The first one wants to live forever inside of you. It's possible. I want to live what I haven't in my own life, seeing the things you feel, seeing the things you see, just being there for the rest of your life because I haven't been aware of being there for myself and mine. But the other part wants you to live on your own, experience things by yourself and forget about me. You're a girl. You deserve to have some privacy and learn things in this world by yourself. I know who will take care of you while I'm not here. So hey, I want you to do me a favor. I love the kind of ambience this place gives me. In front of you, there's the end of this little journey. I'm sorry if I wasn't what you expected coming from an abandoned lab. I have no problem with it. Sis. How do you feel knowing this is the first time you'll see the outside world? Maybe this is the happiness you were talking about. What about you? Me? Oh, I have no words to describe my feelings right now. Coming from someone who yaps about everything is interesting. Let's see what's on the other side. Sure. Blowing part's complete. They made it. It's beautiful. Sis. Do whatever you need to do now. In any case, you can walk by yourself now. There's someone who will probably teach you more. Who? I can't tell you who, but I can tell you where she is. You can walk by yourself alone for the first time until you reach her house. The girl? She's part of my family. But you wouldn't have the chance to meet her if you want me to stay with you. Deep inside me, there's a mom that forced me to feel guilty for not letting you live by yourself with some freedom. It would hurt if I refused to let you live by yourself. But I'm scared of stopping existing. I haven't enjoyed this world my whole life just to stop existing right after I have this opportunity to live along with you. You know what, sis? Oh, is she crying? Life is filled with hard decisions. Decisions you'll never need to make every single... No, that's wrong. Life is filled with hard decisions. Decisions you'll need to make every single day in order to survive. Decisions that could ruin years of work in a matter of seconds. And decisions that might make you regret. You regret your whole life until you become nothing. This will be your first decision. The first decision in a world that is harsh to the people who don't know how to live by themselves. Sis, it's your turn. Do we disconnect or stay? She may be afraid, but she's okay with it. But I quite enjoyed her. I'll disconnect. You're a really strong girl. I couldn't stop myself from thinking that you were like a daughter to me now. Being a woman is weird. I'll tell you where this girl is. Please find her and live with her. I have one last question. How do you look like? How do I look? Okay, I'll tell you. Oh. Hello. Who are you? Sis, a beloved one told me to stay here with you from now on. Oh, my name is Nyx. Nice to meet you. Oh. The end. That was a very nice game. It was quaint and very eye-opening. It's a lot better than I expected. You should check it out. Itch.io. 4004. What was it? Shoot. 4004Ripper. And donate some money if you can. Even though it's free, it may help out the creator. That's all. Love y'all, and subscribe and like if you want to. But only if you want to. I don't want unwilling subscribers just because I said so. Toodaloo.